you ever lay there at night staring at the ceiling, wondering where the day has gone and exactly what you've done with it? I've had days like that. I still do at times. I mean, I'll be busy all day long and seemingly make no headway. Do you know the feeling? I don't have as many days like that anymore, not since I've discovered these 3 amazing tips. If you implement these easy steps, you too can become a more productive writer. Number 1, break your goals down into bite-sized chunks. If you decide you're going to write your book in, say, 6 months, which is achievable, by the way, then you have a goal. Now, I'm sure you know to break that goal down into smaller goals. Say, I'll write 3,000 words this week. That's a more bite-sized goal, but it's still not quite bite-sized enough. You want a goal that you can mark off on your daily to-do list. Try breaking it down smaller yet. I'll write 600 words every day. If you have a goal that you can see getting accomplished each day, it makes you feel more productive than if you see it getting fulfilled only once a week. What did you do today? Well, I worked toward my weekly goal. How far did you get? I don't know. If you have a daily goal, it helps you see where you are, where you're going, and where you need to be. For instance, if I set a deadline for myself and I know that in order to meet that deadline, then I must write 3,000 words a week, then I'll sit down and figure out how many words that I write a day. And if I hit that daily goal, I know I'll be okay. If I exceed it, which I do many times, then that's all good and great too, but at least I've hit it. This way, I can look and definitely say, I know I'm going to meet my deadline because I'm on target to hit my weekly goal. And how do I know that? Because I've hit or exceeded my daily goal. Does that make sense? This daily goal keeps you on target, giving you an achievable something to reach for. By the way, don't get your goal set so high that it's not achievable and so that it's not only attainable. If it's only attainable if you push full force for the entire day and ignore everything else. You're not going to be able to work like that every day. And if you set your goals too high, you'll get discouraged. Setting your expectation too high is setting yourself up for failure. Number 2, break your goals down into micro goals. You've chosen your goal for the day. Now, how are you going to achieve it? This is where micro goals come in. Micro goals, simply put, are the baby steps that you take to reach your larger goal. You might say that your daily goal of writing 600 words is a micro goal of your monthly goal, and that your monthly goal is a micro goal of your 6-month goal. You want to break it down further though. How do you choose micro goals? Well, think about your goal. What do you have to do to get there? What are the necessary steps? Sit down in your chair, turn on your computer, put your fingers on the keyboard. Okay, not that basic, but pretty close. Honestly though, what are the necessary steps? Your main goal is to completely finish your 600 words for the day, right? You have to research your material, write your 600 words, and edit your writing. These are some micro goals, but they're not micro enough. You might start with a micro goal of researching the climate and weather patterns for your setting. If you're beginning to write a new chapter. Yes, researching is part of writing. A good writer will be a good researcher. For this goal, get specific in your research. Ask yourself questions about the climate and the weather, like 3 or 4-year-old might ask questions about why pencils need to be sharpened. And yes, they really do that. How does it feel? Why does it feel that way? At what time of the year does the climate change? What is it like during each month this chapter is taking place? You don't want Susie Q to be walking through the dry, smoldering heat in the climate that month if the climate that month in the place that your story is taking place is sticky and humid. There's a difference. You don't want her to be flushing from the smothering heat and feel her skin burning from the relentless sun if the weather and patterns for that time of the year frame commonly call for a stiff breeze and constantly overcast skies. A good micro goal might be to go through the writing for the day, checking for repetitive words. Most write-ups have words that they lean on, using them all the time. You might make a micro goal of making these and finding synonyms to replace them. The great thing about micro goals is that they're micro. It doesn't take long before you can put another check mark on your to-do list. Each check mark motivates you further and speeds you up towards your pace, thus boosting your productivity. Lastly, you need to batch your goals together. Now that you've got your goals figured out for the week, the day, and even the minute, learn to group them together. What do you mean by that, Nishoni? what is batching? Well, that's a good question. When you take a bunch of goals that are similar and do them at the same time, one after another, this is called batching. You don't want to be bouncing back and forth from task to task. This actually slows down your productivity and makes your brain change gears in between tasks. There's a danger to bouncing. Let's think about a real life scenario for a minute. You're curled up on your sofa, completely engrossed in a good mystery novel, and suddenly the phone rings. There's a telemarketer on the other end. You quickly hang up and try to get back to your book. And even though you were lost in the moment before, now you sit there staring at the page thinking, where am I? You have to skim the last 2 sentences to get caught back up to where you were before you can resume. This is basically the same thing that happens every time you suddenly move onto a different task that you have to grope and grasp for straws until your brain catches up and gets back into gear. I'm sure you can relate with me when I tell you how I unconsciously go from task to task when I'm cleaning the house. I'm trying to get better. I'll be working on the living room, carrying my daughter's pile of clothes to her room and put those away, and I'll see the confiscated hairbrush on her floor. And I'll pick up my brush and I'll go to my bathroom, and on the way to the bathroom, I'll notice that the hand towel has fallen off the kitchen floor or onto the kitchen floor, and I'll hang that up and see the stove is dirty and go take a sponge to clean the stove. And while I'm cleaning it, I'll remember I was going to go put the brush away. And when I'm in the bathroom, I'll see that the counter needs wiped off, and I'll reach under the counter to get the Clorox wipes, and they'll be gone, of course. And so I'll travel to the kitchen to grab one, only to remember I was going to wash off the stove. But oh yeah, I was cleaning the living room, so back to the living room I go. All in all, I end up working all afternoon without accomplishing one thing. This is how we can get at our writing if we're not careful. Batching helps us focus on the one task at a time because we're focusing on all like tasks. But how do we batch? Well, I'm batching right now because I'm doing all of my videos for YouTube in one afternoon. Well, you're a writer, you write. Maybe you write books, maybe you write blogs, maybe you write articles for a living. Perhaps you do all 3. Think about what you need to do each week for your writing career, and let's see how we can batch it. Do you promote yourself through social media? What days do you do that? Do you promote on Facebook? Most people do. Did you know you can enter your Facebook post, an article share, or a picture and schedule that for a later date? You can make that part of your batching for a day. You can post on Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Snapchat, and also have a Facebook page and a group and to post to too. And you can get batch that all in one day. You can sit down and you can make out your list for the posts that you're going to do for all of those, and just have them set up and ready to go for the day. Facebook, you can set up and do your scheduling for the Facebook, and you can do that for some of the other things as well, scheduling them. And the one you can't do that for, you can have it in a document. All you have to do then is copy and paste it each day into your social media account. Easy peasy. Well, what about doing a blog? Do you do it 1 day a week, 2? Do you have more than one blog? You might try writing all your blogs up at one time, but that also depends on how you blog. Some people post about their life. Batching all the blogs together in one day might not work in this case. I like to get all my research done and out of the way before I write. Then I can research more as I go. I batch all my research together in one day. If you YouTube, like I do, then you might consider having a few scripts ready and go and recording a few videos all at one day at a time, like I'm doing today. And this way, you only have to do your makeup once, and you've worked out your pre-camera jitters, and my kids are screaming in the background. I apologize for that. But, you're on a roll. All you have to do is change your clothes between shoots, and you're ready to go. So, yes, you don't want the people to think that you wear the same clothes every single day. These 3 simple steps, though, breaking your goals down into bite-sized chunks, breaking your goals down into micro goals, and batching your goals together, they'll make your life so much easier. Set your goals, make your goals bite-sized, and list your micro goals. Batch your goals and micro goals together. Good luck, and I look forward to meeting a brand new, more productive you.